Hello and welcome to Team Reptile's My Wildlife Adventures. It's actually 2015. We started our summer camps yesterday. This is the smallest group we've had in quite some time, but allows us to do a lot more personal things and not have to worry about such a huge group moving around ponds, moving around in the woods. So we actually had a little better luck yesterday because of that. We hope to do as well today. We're looking for salamanders, snakes, different species of frogs out here. We're in the Shiawassee Basin Preserve, actually at the trailhead. We're going to get started here, and hopefully we'll find some cool stuff for you guys to be able to see at home.
With every camp comes a new adventure. This morning our goal was to find salamanders, and we had just the place to look.
I found one! Woohoo!
Cool. A little blue spotted.
Oh, it's so cute.
So do you know how you can tell it's a blue spotted salamander?
Brown with blue spots?
Yeah, very good. And it's part of the mole salamander family. Do you know why they call them mole salamanders?
Because they live in dirt?
Well, kind of. They have that wedge-shaped face, and that allows them to burrow down into the dirt. So that lets them get under these logs and everything like that. Very cool. Let this guy go back under there. You don't need to lift it up. You can just let him crawl back under.
Talk about him a little bit.
He's under there.
Whoops.
He's on the leaf.
This little redback right here that Nadine found it's just a juvenile. One of the cool things about it is the fact that they're born actually on land in the eggs, where most salamanders we think about are just like frogs. They're born in the water, they go through metamorphosis, and then they move on to land. Well, redback salamanders, on the other hand, as I said, they're laid eggs on land. The mother generally guards them, the eggs, and then they hatch into tiny versions of adults. So they actually go through the larval stage on land in the eggs, and that's part of the reason that there's so many of them. It's the largest population of salamanders here in Michigan, and actually even in the Northeast.
After we explored the first area for a bit, we headed down to one of my favorite spots.
We're down here in what we like to call, or what I like to call, Monster Amphibian Valley. We usually find a lot of big salamanders down here. I keep telling the kids about it, but they never believe it until they see it. Well, Keith, a minute ago, who's one of our junior counselors, he's been with us a long time, just found a big old redback salamander. And you saw the juvenile earlier, but this one is a full-grown adult. They can get a little bit bigger than this, but not too much. Very cool. He's being kind of patient, just sitting right there. One of the cool things is these guys can actually jump. If I gave it a little scare from behind, they can use their tail and push off, and it can actually jump. Right now I don't want it to jump because it'll land on sticks below, but it could actually jump. If I got it into my hand maybe, if he'll move, oh, there he goes, it did that little wiggle. And when they want to propel themselves like that, they can. He's crawling under a log, he's doing fine down there. Oh, actually it's crawling down into moss. We just got to watch where we step now.
While I was trying to make sure this little guy was buried nicely, Taylor was off in another area catching a redback of his own.
Come on, buddy. There you go. This one's also missing his tail a little bit, but you can see it's starting to grow back.
Yeah.
During our time down in Monster Amphibian Valley, we sure had a lot of luck. Quite often we call the place MAV rather than Monster Amphibian Valley, even though that's not really that tough to say, but it does give us a nice little acronym for it. As you can see, we did really well with the salamanders, finding leadbacks, redbacks, and even spotted salamanders while we were there.
I don't catch these very often. Yeah, they're a little rare. They're probably more.
Now the only reason I'm putting this log back down is because I can tell that it's not going to squish him. Normally we'd want to put that back before. Carson just had a pretty cool find flipping over a log right here behind us. He found a small four-toed salamander. They're one that we don't find very often because they require a very specific setting to have their young. They require a moss area overhanging a vernal pool. If you can see in the background there's a nice little vernal pool. That's probably where this one came out of. And they lay their eggs actually right above the water so that when they hatch, they drop into the water. You can tell it's a four-toed salamander. One of the main ways is just by how light the whole body is and how it has kind of a darker body up there and it goes to a much lighter color in the tail. As they get a little bit bigger, they'll almost have a scaly look to their skin, kind of more like a lizard would have, and they'll get defined white speckles on their belly. You can also tell by the kind of more blunt snout than you would see in a typical leadback or redback salamander that often is mistaken for four-toed. And then the name gives away its most unique way to tell is that it's the only salamander to have four toes in the back legs. You won't be able to see it really on this guy. Good find. Yeah, the salamanders really like it under some of this bark down here. Ah, there's a little blue spotter right there. Cool. It's a little blue spotted salamander. We've been finding quite a few of them this year. It's been nice and wet out. A lot of rain makes it so that they're a little more active. When it gets really dry out, they tend to burrow down in using that wedge-shaped face that they have. And that's what classifies them in the mole salamander family. We're just going to let this guy go back where we found him.
As you can see, we definitely found our fair share of salamanders that day, but now we were ready to move on and try to find something else. As luck would have it, down in the area we call the gravel pit, we did just that.
Hey, careful. Be under this one. You got it. Careful, that's all these guys. Hey, everybody take a few steps back. Back.
What do you guys remember about, what do you remember about garter snakes I told you yesterday? They're born how? Live birth, yep.
Can I hold it?
Not right now, maybe later. This one's probably about how old do you think? Probably about 1 year old, yep.
Even with it just being a common garter snake we found, it gave everybody a hunger to find more snakes. The next day of camp provided us with an opportunity to hike along a couple areas where we knew we might find some snakes. One of the best spots is in an area that we call Turkey Knoll. This area provides a great habitat for snakes, especially with all the big logs that are laying out there for snakes to hide under. Our hope today was to find a species of snake that we don't often find, and it looks like we were in luck.
They're moving.
I need backup.
That's pretty. She's grabbing.
Oh God, did she spray?
She is.
Yeah.
No,
I
she's
meant I
fine.
need you all to try.
I was kidding, but wow, she's quite a face she made. That's funny.
He's like, yep, yeah, whatever.
Although this snake seems pretty small, it's actually a full-grown northern brown snake. The nasty smell that we're all talking about is a mix of chemical, urine, and feces that the snake can release when they're threatened.
Can I touch it? Yeah.
She has babies in her, so we gotta be really careful. Let's wait to touch until we all get up there, because we gotta actually head back. You guys know it's past 1:30?
We decided that this little brown snake would be a great snake to take back to show parents once camp ended. This was not going to be our last snake catch of the day, however, because once we got back up to the Hart Community Center, Keith was able to make another great catch for us.
Keith lifted up the metal portion of the dock as you're walking on the ramp and found a northern water snake. And this is probably 2-3 years old, maybe 4. It's getting very close to being ready to shed, which we can tell that because of the coloration, the dull coloration, but especially the eyes. The eyes have that clouded blue coloration over them. It's actually the shed that is over them. When they shed, that will come off. There'll be a much more vibrant color, and you'll be able to see their eyes again. Right now, with that covering over the eyes, they're practically blind, which sometimes will mean they're more jittery, more aggressive, but this one hasn't been too bad. It's been trying to get away, but not biting at all.
You know, one of our favorite things to do at camp is try to catch water snakes, and that was very obvious this session as we spent quite a bit of time around the ponds searching for and trying to grab or net northern water snakes. This one right here turned out to be quite elusive, and we spent a long time waiting for it to come by the shore. After a little while, Quinn, who's become quite the expert snake catcher, was able to land this one for us.
I saw him in the... Yeah, that one's pregnant. Yeah, that's a water snake.
Water snake.
Oh, she did get a water snake.
Caught a water
Tina
snake.
died.
After Quinn had caught this big water snake, the rest of us really wanted our opportunity to catch one too. We were seeing quite a few, but today we just weren't having that much luck, and then thankfully Taylor caught one for us.
There's another water snake out there.
We were really glad that Taylor caught this snake because it was going to make a great addition to the reptile and amphibian exhibit that we would be setting up for parents to see at the end of camp today. We had a great day catching all those snakes, and we were all definitely ready for our last day, which would take us out to Independence Oaks. This is a park that I absolutely love to come to. It's one of the very first places that I used to catch turtles, and I love to come out here every year as much as I can. Come to think of it, this is the very first place that I ever caught a water snake. I can still remember the very first time I ever saw a northern water snake out here swimming in the water. I was absolutely fascinated by it, and I think that's one of the main reasons I like to bring kids out here. Well, that and the fact that there's some pretty big water snakes out here too, which the kids are about to find out.
Oh God.
Oh my
Oh God, that is big. That is.
Don't hurt it, you guys. Get in the net. You're going to hurt it if it's jerking around like that.
It's a water snake.
Water snake.
Holy
There was a water snake right in front of
It's
you.
going to hurt you
you
if you bite you,
Yeah,
just so you
Evan,
guys
you-
know.
When you like
Alright.
jumped in, it was still in front of you.
This thing is
He sprayed.
I just right in the water.
I just jumped in for it, but it didn't really work.
Got away.
This one is huge. Oh, that one's the size of his head.
You want me to grab it, or are you guys
I'll
okay?
grab it. I'll grab it.
Come here. Come here. Come here.
Maybe it'll be nice and relaxed. Maybe.
Down.
Have fun to do that for,
Male or female?
Snow.
looks like female. to me.
Female, yeah. This one might be pregnant. It's pretty.
Tail length is pretty short. That's one of the ways to tell. Yeah, she could be grabbing. Definitely.
Ew! Holy crap! Yeah, she is really spraying.
Males usually don't get quite that large either.
It smells very bad.
It's funny.
Sticking your tail up, sure.
Crikey!
Crikey, mate. Look at the size of this one.
Oh man, now I smelled it.
No, I know you gotta get like down. Oh, that's why I'm over here. Come over here and you can't smell
I
it.
really like this.
It's a wolf.
It's really
Yeah, just
spraying.
I still smell it.
What looks
Stay
like a
closer.
boy
I
there.
jumped in to try to get him, but can't see.
You're spraying like this.
This one might shed soon. Yeah.
No such.
Holy guacamole.
Why am I carrying a baby nut? In case I have to catch a baby.
Okay.
What if there's a baby snake and the others, nuts are just too big?
Too big for the baby snake? Unheard of? Yeah.
Have you ever seen a water snake that big, Evan?
Yeah, it's really cool.
I've never seen
Hey,
one's
we gotta
head
start
this
going
big.
to Salamander Trail pretty soon here, you guys.
Wow.
So we can't hang out with snakes too long.
Do not spray.
Come on, Lauren.
I'm at a weird angle.
What are you even looking for?
Come on, keep your head still.
You're better than this.
Oh, Lauren went in.
You went in for nothing. Let's see if I can get it.
Once we had all had the opportunity to check out this big water snake, we decided to let it go and be on our way. After leaving the shoreline, we decided to make our way down to the little creek. We had already caught quite a few water snakes over the last couple days, so we were really hoping to find some different animals. But wouldn't you know it, the very first thing we catch there is another northern water snake.
Do it for the vine.
That one's pretty nice.
Come on, buddy.
Get the net. Get in the net.
Oh, he's got him.
Oh wow, yeah, that is a big one.
He's all for me.
Looks like you've got a fish in his belly.
It was very cool for the campers and counselors to be able to watch this northern water snake move through the shallow water. It was even fun to watch that snake crawl through the foam, which the kids kept calling root beer.
Just a couple of them. That'd be a nice deep.
Well, we definitely found our fair share of water snakes this session, but we also had a lot of luck with other animal species as well. Campers and counselors alike always love to catch frogs and toads, and in the places we go, there's definitely no shortage of them.
Toad! Toad! Uh-huh. Put him in with the other frog. He's a little one, but not too little.
Lauren. See that?
I got a question for you guys. Now that we've caught an American toad, and we found another one that Keith was going to get, but he got scared because there was a bee like 10 feet from it. When you find an American toad, if you pick it up, are you going to get warts?
No.
No. Is it going to possibly pee on you?
Yes.
Yes. It probably will pee on you. Are you going to eat food right after it pees on you?
No.
No. Would you eat food after any animal peed on you?
No.
I hope not. If you do, then see you later. Anyways, toads, obviously when they pee on you, that's bad for you. Or not bad for you, it's gross, but it doesn't harm you at all. It doesn't hurt you at all. It doesn't give you warts. When you pick up a toad, it doesn't give you warts. The warts on the back of a toad are called parotoid glands. They do have poison in them, but they have to be ingested. They have to be eaten by something. So if a dog or some type of animal eats them, it can poison them. I've seen dogs foam at the mouth. I've had neighbors panic and call me because their dog ate a toad and all of a sudden the dog's getting sick or foaming at the mouth. All right, there's certain animals like garter snakes, things like that can eat them and it doesn't harm them. There's actually another snake in Michigan, the hognose snake, that is designed, like its jaws are designed to actually puncture those and puncture the toad as it inflates because they'll swell up. I'm sure you guys have all seen it, where a toad swells up so something can't eat it as easy. Well, the actual hognose snake can puncture it and cause it to deflate, and they can eat a little easier. They have some teeth in the back of their mouth, basically, that are designed just for that. All right, so I just wanted you guys to know that. So if I ask you later if a toad can give you warts, the answer is
No.
no. They have warts on them, but they're actually called parotoid glands.
Net something. Oh. Got him.
Careful too, you guys.
So do you remember how you can tell it's a green frog?
The ridges on his back.
Do you remember what those are called?
Parallel dorsal.
Very close. Dorsal lateral ridges. Yep, and that's those.
No. Get down.
That's the lines that run right along behind his eyes there. Now, do you know if this is a male or a female, or do you know how to tell if it's a male?
It's a female. Because of
the tympanons?
Yeah.
Yep, and do you know why? Like, is it?
Because the tympanons are smaller than its eyes.
Yep, smaller, the same size as the eyes usually means it's a female. And if it was a male, the tympanons would be a little bit larger than the eyes.
That beautiful sound you hear in the background is the call of male green frogs looking for females. This pond provides an incredible habitat for a number of different species of frogs, and we often find a lot of tadpoles here.
All right, most people, when you think about tadpoles, probably think like toads and a lot of smaller tadpoles that go through, well, those are larvae. The actual tadpoles go through metamorphosis and become frogs. All right. Well, a lot of the species in Michigan do it within a month or a couple months, like wood frogs, spring peepers, chorus frogs, even American toads. They will all go through metamorphosis very quickly, which means that they can get away with laying the eggs in what are called vernal pools. And that's a place that fills up with water in the spring and generally dries up in the summer. However, bullfrogs and green frogs, they have to actually lay their eggs in bodies of water that are permanent. Or they try to anyways, in bodies of water that are permanent. And that's because the tadpoles have to overwinter. They have to be able to survive at least one winter in the water. And you can't do that in a vernal pool because if it dries up, it can kill them all off. So in this situation, these tadpoles we're finding right here, do you think all these tadpoles are just newly hatched, or do you think they've been around a while?
Newly hatched.
They've actually been around a while. When they're newly hatched, they're tiny. Tiny little guys. These have all been around. They look like green frog tadpoles, although there could be one or two that are bullfrog. I haven't taken a close look, but they've definitely been around at least one winter.
One has back legs.
Back legs already? Okay. Yep, their back legs form first, then their front legs, and then they absorb their tail. That's what they actually eat for a while. Their mouth changes from a little sucker mouth to a wide frog mouth.
While the campers and counselors worked on catching more tadpoles and checking them out, Quinn and I went over to the other side of the pond so that we could release a really cool species of turtle.
All right, so we have a male Blanding's turtle that the fire chief of Springfield found yesterday on the road and got a hold of us to have us release it back here in the ponds. We'd love to let it go right around where we found it, but unfortunately there's so much traffic there. One of the biggest dangers, honestly, to Blanding's turtles, which are now on Michigan's list of species of special concern, which means they don't have a sustainable population, which means that basically there's not enough baby Blanding's turtles for this population to do well. One of the main reasons for that is people. Raccoons destroy the eggs, but honestly people, not intentionally, but hit them with cars and just kind of destroy their habitat. So this is such a beautiful area back here and such incredible habitat for Blanding's turtles that we thought, why not bring it out here, let it go, won't have to worry about cars or any traffic or really even humans other than us if we catch it. So we're going to go ahead and let it go and hold true to our promise to take it to a good, safe place. He's going to have to crawl a little ways here. They're a semi-terrestrial turtle, which means they do go on land a decent amount, but their best spot, they're just scared of frog. Their best bet is to stay in the water where they're safer. Except if they get stuck under a log. Sometimes people refer to them as snake necks, which there is actually such thing as a snake neck turtle, not in Michigan, but they're sometimes called snake necks because they have such a long neck. Blanding's turtle has a very long neck that extends out, and it's actually my favorite turtle. I love the kind of perma-smile they have with their jaws, and then on top of that, the beautiful yellow throat that they have. And they're a very docile turtle. They're just, I've never had one try to bite me. I've never had one be aggressive, which can also be a good thing for them because people tend to trust Blanding's turtles and not be as aggressive back with them as they will with snappers and soft shell turtles. But
At the same time, they're not very good about protecting themselves if an animal flips them over and tries to pick them apart and eat them, which can happen, especially on land. So it's making some progress, kind of taking its time there. This looks like a rock in the water. Releasing this Blandings turtle into such a great habitat was definitely important to us. One of my favorite things to do, even outside of camps, is to catch and study turtles. So you can only imagine how rewarding I think it is that we get to be able to teach kids how to catch and handle turtles during our camps.
People up around the corner there.
Dad.
You had any luck catching anything yet?
You might have scooped under like 1 ounce.
You caught anything yet?
Yep, we got him.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
We caught a turtle?
A turtle.
Oh yeah! There's a turtle. Is it big? Oh, yeah, it's big.
Been working out. Hello.
It's like this is how I exercise.
Except if it's a female, so be like, hello.
You want me to do?
It's over here.
Yeah, just like point out the different stuff.
The water snake's over here.
The shell being domed and then...
After Zach showed the campers how to tell that this is a female painted turtle, we decided to let it go. As much as we love catching painters, it's always exciting for us to catch a different species of turtle. Thankfully, on our last day of this session, we had a really cool find over at Independence Oaks.
Yeah, that's him right there. But he's just sitting there. Yeah. Here, can you pass me another net?
Here.
Here, hand it to me. I've got him, kind of. Like half of his shell. Yeah, I got him.
Somewhere in there.
I want some of this muck to clear. No, we're not going to keep him. Is that his tail? I'll pull him out though so you guys can see him. I'm not going to hold him long. He's scratching me.
Wow, he's big.
Yeah, I can.
Male, female.
I think.
Hi, little dinosaur.
You don't gotta flip them over.
Hi, little dinosaur.
There we go.
Oh, jeez, look at his nose.
He's not too happy.
You're gonna eat your face.
He'll bite
Pretty
your
cool
face.
guy though. You see how small their plastron is? That's the bottom part of their shell.
He just bit himself.
With snapping turtles, they have a small
Yeah, you can see the
plastron.
hole.
That's part of the reason they're so aggressive. Because if they weren't, they'd get eaten. I'm gonna let this guy go. But pretty cool, huh, guys?
Yeah.
You okay?
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
He's good.
I didn't get bit. I got scratched a little bit.
Bleeding a little bit on the other side of your hand.
Yeah, I'm bleeding on both hands. What happens when you hold them like that? When they get that big, they're strong enough to scratch. But I need to make sure I wash this out because turtles can have different stuff going on. That's why you got to be careful even when you're holding them so they can't snap you. They still can scratch you. And their nails will do a little damage too.
What an awesome catch that had been. It's always exciting when we find a big snapping turtle like that. One of the last things we have to do each camp is check on Team Reptile Mountain and make sure our monument's still there.
So we're out here on Team Reptile Mountain and the flag has fallen over, so we're gonna work on putting this guy back up. You can see the remains of what it was right over there. Hey you guys, if you want to grab wedge-shaped sticks and bring them over here with a little time and effort, we got the Team Reptile flag back up, and we'll be back out in a couple weeks to check on it with the next camp.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Team Reptile's My Wildlife Adventures.